It's just like, ugh. I just don't even want to fucking do this Aranos 2 again. I just don't. Alright, I want to look at the games done quick submissions for the Ratchet series. We're going to take a look at this together. I'm going to give you guys my hot opinions as to what I believe are going to be the Ratchet games that have the best chance of making it. So, Ratchet. Let's open up this window. Window capture. Alright, we're going to decrease the size here. So we're looking specifically at Ratchet games right now. This is our goal, so to only look at Ratchet games. Size Matters is one of those games where I think there will be a GDQ someday that Size Matters is run at. I don't think it's this one. I think they're gonna want to go with the more mainstream titles first. I mean, maybe if nothing else, they might want to do something like, if they were to pick 2, this would be a good contender for second option. But because it's handheld, I don't know. I feel like they're going to want to go with the more mainstream titles first. The more popular titles. Don't worry, Bonex. It's on my channel. So you can see it whenever. Ricky submitted Ratchet & Clank NG+. Now, I think Ricky has a really great shot of getting in to AGDQ, but I don't think it's for this game. And the only reason why I think that is because 2 out of the past 3 GDQs had Ratchet 1. Especially the most recent one just had Ratchet 1 as well. So I think this would be a great contender for either SGDQ or AGDQ 2019. But I don't think Ratchet 1 NG+ has a very good chance of getting in this time around, especially when there's other titles that they could do that they haven't done yet. Don't get me wrong, I'd be thrilled if they took Ricky's run. And hi, Kingdom, how's it going, man? I would be thrilled if they took Ricky's run. I think Ricky would do a very good job representing what the game has to offer, and we would give very good commentary about what's going on. It's just one of those things where it's like, I don't know, I have a gut feeling about a lot of stuff. I don't have a gut feeling about this. This is not, if I had to like, if this were a poker hand and someone shoved me all in and my hand was Ratchet 1 NG+, I would fold. I would not bet on that. Davey with Deadlocked NG+. Now, Deadlocked, I think, has a good chance of getting in, and here's why. I think Deadlocked is one of the stronger contenders here. 1, it's never been done at GDQ before. 2, everyone and their mom who's ever played a Ratchet game has played Deadlocked. Hi, Cake. And 3, Davey's really good at the game. It's fresh, it's original. I think there's a good chance of this getting in. The only thing I think this has going against it is that the movement tech is not very advanced. And I think that's what people have come to expect from Ratchet runs, but I don't think that'll be an issue. I don't think that they remember a lot of the movement tech. So I'd rank, right now, as far as the first 3, if I had a bet, I would pick Deadlocked, Ratchet 1, Deadlocked, Size Matters, Ratchet 1, NG+. That's my order so far. Then we have Damon with a bunch of Ratchet 2 categories. Now, the only thing about Ratchet 2 is that Skits and I did run it at AGDQ last year, so I don't think they would take no IMG. They might take NG+ as a bonus. That would actually, I think, be a pretty good option for bonus. Yo, Maxi, what the fuck is up, man? How you doing? You never played Deadlocked? It's actually one of my favorite games. It's one of my favorite Ratchet games casually. It's just like, it's not a good game, but it's one of those games that's like dumb fun. You know, like you can kind of turn your brain off and just play it for hours and hours, and it's like, all right, this is pretty cool. I think NG+ has great bonus potential. Any percent? I don't know. I think they would rather take Deadlocked NG+ than Ratchet 2 any percent. Because Deadlocked is the faster category, both speed tech wise and time wise. Ratchet 2 has been done before. that's basically my two main points there. I don't think this has a very strong chance of getting in. I think if I had to pick, it would be I would say NG Plus is great for a bonus slot. Any percent has like a decent chance. So I'm gonna keep like a tiered list here. So if my tiered list right now is Deadlocked, Size Matters, Ratchet 1, NG Plus. I think now if we're looking at categories, Deadlocked NG Plus, Ratchet 2 any percent. Ratchet 2 80% and Size Matters are a tie. I might change my mind about that. So Deadlocked NG Plus, Rack 2 80% and Size Matters NG Plus are tied. Then in fourth place, I would put Ratchet 1 NG Plus. Then beneath that, I would put no ING. And then I think NG Plus is just off in its own corner because I think it's either going to be a bonus game or nothing. Then a crack in time. What's up, Nindred? I'm doing great, man. How are you? When are you submitting all Yu-Gi-Oh cards? For anybody wondering, for SGDQ, I don't know if I'm going to submit much. I mean, I know for a fact I want to submit all plats. I don't know if I'm going to submit anything else. It really depends on what gets in this time around and what I've learned since then. Me, Lombax, and Wed all submitted a sit together. Okay, so consider your submissions together. Okay. So I'm going to look at Lombax. We're going to look at Perilous Peanut. We're going to look at Wed as far as a crack in time goes. Wow, there's a lot of fucking Ratchet submissions. 10 submissions. That's really great for the Ratchet series. I'm going to say right off the bat, I don't think this has a very strong chance of getting in. And it's only because the category is 3 hours long. ACIT being an unknown factor. Like, Ratchet is not an unknown factor, but the future games are. And I think... Hi, RM. I'm not shit-talking Size Matters, just so you know, in case you just got here. Or, I don't know, you've been, like, in and out. I don't know, like, when you've been here, when you've been back, or whatever. Oh, yeah, you should do that, Cake. I hope so, too, Toe. I really hope that's the case. I mean, Ratchet, I think, at this point, deserves it. We've proven time and time again that fucking Ratchet games are fan favorites. Yo, what's up, Oren? How you doing, man? I don't think ACIT All Gold Bolts has a good chance of getting in just because of this. It's getting harder and harder to get in with longer categories. And I don't think they're going to want to do All Gold Bolts a crack in time, especially because they already just did All Gold Bolts. So I think they're either going to go with an any percent category or NG Plus category. Maybe. Again, maybe. I have to look at everything first. Yo, Addy, what's good? How you doing? Lombax. Okay, any percent is 2 hours long. NG Plus is also 2 hours long. There's a very slight difference between the two. In honesty, I have no idea where to place a crack in time. A crack in time could very easily, like, I could... This is what I've been saying time and time again. I think a crack in time works in a world where they take 2 Ratchet categories. Because then you can do a short category and then a crack in time category. I really don't think, like I said before, I really don't think All Gold Bolts will get in for a crack in time. I think they'll either take, I think NG Plus and any percent have the exact same chance of getting in. I honestly believe it's a crapshoot between either of the two. I think, oh my god, this is tough. This is tough to think about. If I'm gonna put NG Plus Rack 2 in its own bonus bubble, I think I have to put a crack in time in the bubble of if they take 2 Ratchet games. I think if they take 2 Ratchet games, A Crack in Time has an extraordinary chance of getting in. Because they'll pair a short category and a long category. But in a world where they only take 1 Ratchet category, I think A Crack in Time has a very slim chance. And it's not because of the game itself. It's just because this. Wait, can you guys see this? No, you can't. I gotta scroll up a little bit. I think it's because of this. I think it's because of this. I think it's because of this. And this one especially, like I said, has the lowest chance of getting in of any of them. Do you still sell those Ratchet Who's Your Daddy shirts? I do not, Ninja, but we will be selling other merchandise in the very near future. I already have 1 shirt in the works and a mug on its way as well. So I'll be opening up my store very soon. And what's going on, Tim? How you doing, man? Basically my rundown, Peanut. I think you probably heard my summarization, which is if they take 2 Ratchet games, I think A Crack in Time is a shoo-in. If not, I don't think it is a very strong chance. Just because the pattern that we've established thus far is that Ratchet categories tend to not last much longer than an hour, 10 minutes. Or like much longer than an hour, really. So I don't know. Maybe they will take a chance. I hope that they do eventually. I really want to see them take a chance on longer Ratchet categories. I don't know if they're going to, though. It depends on so many little things. Nexus NG Plus is one of the ones that I would put relatively high. I don't know what to make. Like, honestly, I don't know what the fuck they're gonna think when they read Skrit's fucking submission. I'll read it out loud just so we can all follow along. Yo, it's your boy, the man, the myth, the legend, King Skritler here with an exciting game for you guys. Ratchet & Clank Into the Nexus may look like it has the excitement of a doormat in a staring contest with paint drying, but we skip those details like we skip every other important moment in the game. NG Plus has it all. Skips, cool tricks, all the ingredients of a top speed game. Nexus is the game you don't want to miss out on. Now, this description is either going to single-handedly get this into AGDQ or it's going to ruin his chances entirely. It's a very strong submission, I'm not gonna lie. It's just a matter of like if they like it or not, if they think it's funny. That'll definitely catch their eye. Sometimes you need to just like use either buzzwords or be funny or like do something out of the ordinary. Is Skritz from like some sort of advertising major? No, I don't think so, at least. Yeah, it really depends on who looks at it. I mean, if nothing else, I think there's something to be admired about his fearlessness going into this. I would rate it below Deadlocked for sure. I think Deadlocked still has the strongest chance of getting in of anything that we've looked at thus far. I would put it, so S tier is Deadlocked. I would put S tier as Size Matters. And actually, I would put Into Nexus under S tier, and then A tier right below that, I put Rack 2 any%. So I think this is a top 3 contender. Hell yeah, Tim. That's how you should do it. Just fucking overwhelm them with submissions. When is AGDQ? The list gets announced on October 10th. AGDQ is January 7th. Up next is Perilous Peanut with Ratchet & Clank PS4. Now, this one I also think has a very strong chance of getting it. I think NG Plus has a much better chance of all gold bolts, or over all gold bolts, because they just took Ratchet 1 all gold bolts. They're probably not going to want to do Ratchet 1 Redux all gold bolts. If anything, they'll take NG Plus. I think NG Plus falls in that same tier as Size Matters and Into the Nexus NG Plus. And then finally, Tools of Destruction from Killa Lombax. Again, same issue here. This is a two-pronged issue. Again, I don't know if they'll take a gold bolts run immediately after already doing an all gold bolts run, regardless of what game it is. I think they might want to look into the future series, and this wouldn't be a bad, like, really, I would put this in the same category as a Crack in Time, where in a world where they take 2 Ratchet games, I think both games have a very strong chance of getting in. It's either going to be one or the other, though. It's not going to be both. I think in its own vacuum, it's damn near impossible to tell. They usually don't like going over an hour and a half with PS2 platformers. Yeah, it's tough. It is tough. So I guess if I'm going to give my official list of where I think things lie. Now again, I could be completely wrong about all of this. Do not take my word for it. But I tend to have a pretty good grasp over what they're looking for. I think the one that has the best chance is Deadlocked NG+. It's an hour-long category. That's the perfect length for a platformer. It's a game that hasn't been seen before at GDQs. It's by the world record holder. I think it's got everything going for it. It has name recognition.
Thanks.
Lots of people have played Deadlocked. Thank you, Bonix, for the bits. I think it has name recognition. I think it's got everything. I would be surprised if this didn't get in. I would be surprised if Deadlocked didn't get in. Now, that being said, if they don't take it, I hope they take 2 categories. I hope they take 2 categories regardless. But I think if they're just going to choose one, it's Deadlocked NG+. Like, that's what I would put my money on. Nice, Zekrim. Then I would put Rack PS4 NG+. That's what I would put second. They will take a Ratchet game. I can pretty much guarantee you that, Kingdom. I mean, like, I would be shocked if they didn't take a single Ratchet game. I would be legitimately shocked. No, Lost Champion, because no one's donated 445. God damn it, Richu. Okay, so number 1 is Deadlocked NG+. Number 2, I would put Rack PS4 NG+. The only thing I think... actually, I will rank this lower than that. I will put it third. I will put Into the Nexus second. Because Skrit is the world record holder for Nexus. And Nexus is like that sweet spot of half an hour that they like out of Ratchet games. So I'm going to put Into the Nexus second. I'm going to put Rack PS4 NG+ third. I think if Peanut had a better time in NG+, I'd be more inclined to put him as number 2. But I know that for a fact they would want to run PS4 at some point. And this is just going based off tradition. The tradition of they love NG+ categories from the Ratchet series. Number 4, I would put Size Matters. Number 5, I would put Ratchet 2 Any Percent. Number 6, I would put as a 3-way tie between Todd Ogle Bolts, Crack in Time NG+, and a Crack in Time Any Percent. I put as a 3-way tie between those. I would put Ratchet 1 NG+. Then I would put PS4 All Gold Bolts. Then a Crack in Time All Gold Bolts. And then finally, I think the one that has the least chance of getting in is Rack 2 NG+, no IMG. Because we've already seen that kind of category literally a year ago. That's the big thing there. And then, like I said before, Rack 2 NG+, I think would make a great bonus submission. I think they will take that as a bonus or a backup. But that's it. I really, really hope they take 2 categories because that opens up a whole world of possibilities. But that if somebody asks me my opinions about where all the different Ratchet games lie in regards to their odds of getting into AGDQ, that is how I would place it. If you disagree, that's totally fine. My word is not law. It's not like I'm like a fucking psychic or some shit. I just have a pretty good track record of keeping keeping tabs on what they're looking for as far as games are concerned. So that's my opinion. Yeah, that's about it.